Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are playing Trailmakers. Now the challenge for today is going to be building the ultimate fighter jet. Now this thing needs to be semi-realistic in the sense that I have a few criterias for it. Number one, it has to have an adjustable throttle. Okay, that means that I need to be able to accelerate, decelerate without just full throttle or no throttle. Okay, next thing is it needs to be maneuverable. It needs to be able to dogfight. That's just the way it is. It's no fighter jet if it can't turn. Next, it needs to be easy to land. So not only does it need to have high maneuverability, but it also needs to have settings for low maneuverability so we can adjust things slowly and get in smooth landings. Next, it needs to have folding landing gear, so when we're flying, we can put the landing gear away. This fighter jet does have that, but I don't like the way it's worked out, so we're gonna go and see if we can make a better one. Next up, it needs to have machine guns and missiles, same as the previous ones. It needs to be able to dogfight. What good is it if it can't dogfight? And finally, it needs to look good. Now, that's subjective, but I'll do my best. Anyways, let's get into the build. So first off, I think the obvious seat is a cockpit seat. I mean, it's a fighter jet. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's just start getting a plane shape out, and then we can try adding things into it. It's going to need to be fairly large, so probably want, a nice amount of thrusters. There we go. That should be enough thrusters, hopefully. We'll see, I guess. Next up, let's add in some shape to this thing. So pretty standard Trailmaker's nose looks like that, which does look fine and it's aerodynamically sound, but I don't like the way that these end up. So I'm gonna go for a more triangular nose, and because it needs to come in for landing, I think of a triangle this way is gonna give a little bit more clearance than if we do it like that. Just give it a nice pointy nose. There we go. Now this should be fast, and we'll just have to make it maneuverable. This hole right here, I'm thinking I should be able to fit some landing gear into that, or some blocks in here to hold everything together. And then let's move to the back here. So maybe it would be best if I flip these all sideways, then I should be able to build off of them. So we're gonna want some flaps close to the rear. It is gonna be a modern style fighter jet, so the wings are gonna come out like that, and then I'm gonna want to have clean wings. I'll have to do this with a hinge, and I need to connect all of this up some way, so I think the best way to do that is probably with shield blocks. That'll give us some protection and also some connection. Protection and connection. That'll give us some protection on the bottom and puts everything together. You know what? A wedge block, 1x3 wedge block, cover up this hinge. And then make sure that this hinge is rotated the right direction. Now these hinges will glitch these pieces back so that it gets a nice swooped look. And I'm still going to want to add some wing tips to the end of this. Although we do need turning, so we'll try slapping an aileron on these sorts. Does anyone know why they made the wing pieces not line up with the aileron pieces? Like, that right there hurts me. Anyways, just need a piece of logic in here. So got this nice slot right here for it. Just use an altitude sensor, and I'll set it to negative 500 meters. If we go that low, we're dead anyways, so that should trigger, and that needs to turn that and that on. So now if we spawn this in, yeah, those swoop back. They can swoop back significantly more. Let's turn these off. Adjust the angle to 50 degrees. Nope, more than that. 75 degrees. That's gonna be a lot. Oh, I don't think this is actually adjusting anything. Are these getting stuck on something? 90 degrees. 90 degrees. The ailerons do not like being on that, so we'll have to switch that up. But for now, we'll just finish these off with some simple tail fins, which also do not align properly, which annoys me deeply. Throw the modular wing back, toss these thrusters back, and then let's adjust these something reasonable, 50 degrees. Okay, that's good. That should be highly unstable at the moment, which is perfect. It should allow for good maneuverability, but these are cutting off just a little bit early. So let's try a funky little maneuver, which is throwing a 1x2 in there, and then one of these guys. There we go, that's a little better. Perfect. And so now we can move on to the next part. So now we just have to add a tail section, because currently this will not fly. That actually went surprisingly good, but yeah, does not fly, has no way of pitching out. So let's add in a rear section. I think I'm gonna delete this guy, throw in a nice block there. Gonna want to have pitched tail fins because they are definitely more stable in my testing. Although if I put them low down, they should clip through here and then they'll have a smaller aerodynamic profile. So we'll go with that. Question is, will this angle be perfectly fine for this? That is not connected right now. That would be an issue. Let's get some aerodynamic pieces because they're less clippy and just toss one down there. Those are not correct in the slightest at all. That needs to go that way. That actually looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. And then we need to add in tail fins, which should be fairly simple. If we just go over to here, we've got this elevator block. So I mean, technically, no, that's just not gonna work. It's not pretty, and I like pretty things. So we're going to use the ailerons, toss them back here, adjust them so that they go like this. Speed all the way up, strength all the way up, and that can go to about 23. Sure, there we go. So the question is, can we fly now? Yes, we can, and we are weirdly stable. No roll, which is fine. We have no roll controls, but we can cruise, and that is actually really nice. Okay, now it's time to ruin it by throwing a whole bunch of technology into this thing. So we need to make this more maneuverable, and I could use these, which would increase it, but it would reduce my non-maneuverability, which is something I want. I want to be able to adjust small things so that I can land. It makes landing a lot easier. So I'm going to add optional turning, which is going to be done by a pair of canards up in the front, and these are going to have 45-degree angles. Speed as fast as it will go. Those are going to be set to WNS because that's what I want for that's what I want when I'm dogfighting. WNS is my preferred controls. And then these ones I'm going to set to up and down on the D-pad, not on the D-pad, on the arrow keys. What am I talking about? And so now those need to be reversed, but that should give us maneuverability. And then if we use arrow keys with that, yeah, we're even more maneuverable. Perfect. Okay, so I noticed these were flapping back here, which means these still have controls on them, which is no good. Remove those controls. We do need to add some roll. Now, where am I going to do roll? Because these don't like clipping. If I try putting ailerons in here, yeah, it does not like it, and that makes us wider, which would probably be fine, but I don't like it, so no. Although, this may be a little strange. In the name of functionality, what if we did that? Like a second layer, throw some aerodynamics on here. Nope, those are gonna clip when those turn. Alright, like that, and that should give us some roll, correct? There we go. Man, this thing is fast. Can turn on a dime too. This is perfect. Great. So next on the thing is adjustable throttle. Now to do this is going to be interesting. I need to remove all the controls from these, and then I need to pack adjustable throttle into here. So probably remove that, which effectively disconnects everything. How else could I connect the world here? These guys. If I slap one of these guys here, will they fill in the gaps? I'm sure this is very safe, and these won't get shot out right away in any dogfight, so it's fine. And then we can remove these, and now it is time to do adjustable throttle, which is once again something I've never done. So the gist is you use a piston, and the piston is adjustable, which means that as you push it, it triggers sensors, and these sensors will slowly add more thrust or less thrust. I'm going to turn off the forces so I can see a little bit better to think more clearly, but do this, and then if I add some distance sensors and I go here, does the piston trigger them? That's the question. And we'll just have this set E and Q. No, the piston does not trigger them, which is fine because we just add a block here, and if we press Q, you can see that that triggers that. So now we just need to adjust it. So the first one will first one triggers a few, the second one triggers a few plus a few more, and then the third one, when the throttle's all the way down, just full power, absolutely everything. And we'll see how this works. Make sure this start position, speed, that's probably fine. Okay, let's come back here so we have a bit of a runway, and then there's some minor thrust, there's more thrust, and then full throttle. and we can just adjust the thrust like that. So we can be flying, someone's like, dang, you're pretty fast. And you're like, yeah, watch me. Full throttle, and we're just out of there. Look at that. That's pretty sick. Let's take it to the ground. So next up is landing gear. Now, landing gear is the biggest struggle in the game because it doesn't like to work usually, and it's bouncy and it likes to cause issues. But that's fine. We're gonna go for something. Probably just use the smallest tire because it's the smallest tire and thus it's the smallest. What a good reason. And then the front one, I usually like to do hinges, but I don't know how well that's gonna work right here. We'll give it a go. So we'll get some pipes. Fill up this space, throw a little hingemabob in there, and we'll have this on toggle for one angle 90 degrees, and that folds right up in there. That did not save its settings. 2.5. So engaging landing gear is just more controlled and better. And then that down. Yeah, see, look at landing gear. There is no reason this should be bouncing, and yet it is. So that goes down, comes back out. Perfect. That works just good to me. Next up is the more complicated stuff, which is the stuff in the back. And nobody likes stuff in the back because it's stuff in the back. Although we might be able to fit it in here. That leaves a lot of weight sitting on the back, but it might work. And then we can hide it under the okay, no, that's fine. So we just slap a block in there, a block in there. Settings, just need to have that go there, but it can't go there. This needs to be as far back as possible. We're gonna want to have a slight back lean, and that'll just allow everything to run a bit smoother, allow takeoff a bit easier. So just add a little wibble wobble there. Oh, that's not gonna let me, is it? Yeah, that's not gonna let me. Oh wait, well, I guess that just needs to go down one more, which isn't the end of the world, just not the best either. Unless we could try. Ooh, that does not like that. That does not like that one bit. Actually, I mean, the tire looks stupid because it's on the roof, but if we get that in the middle, just adjust this setting a little bit, that folds in nicely. Okay, that went surprisingly well. So now we just have to see if it'll stand. Moment of truth, and it even leans back. Look at that. It is a little buggy, but it rolls forward with no thrust somehow. Let's turn up the throttle. Full throttle, put that landing gear in. The turn radius can be adjusted. The ability to roll is a little slow. Yeah, this is coming together. So next up is that roll. We need to fix it. Crank the speed. Angle 15 degrees. That should be that fixed. And now I think we just need to add artillery. So where are we going to do that? I haven't left any room for that. This plane is so skinny, which allows it to go so fast. So we need to add some missiles and some guns. Missiles. The guns are okay to go at the back because they'll shoot right through the plane, even if that does look a little strange, maybe more than a little. Move those up, make it look a little more normal. I'm allowed to say normal nowadays, who knows? And then we need to add a missile, at least one. And I mean, it'd be very easy to just slap that under the nose, but I feel like that's just not the right choice. It doesn't look good. So I guess I'll need to figure somewhere else I can put them. What if I put them, actually, take these guns and I'll toss them on the ends of the wings, and that will let me put the missiles. I don't like that. That is bad. Missiles then would be angled. So I guess the furthest forward they could go is there. See what that looks like. That's pretty nice. I need to add some aerodynamic pieces so that doesn't look so strange. Maybe something like that will work. How in the world is that not connected? I guess not that. We'll just have to go something a little more basic and add a good old 1x2. There we go. And there's our guns. I should probably program a better control for those so I don't fire every time I take off. V. And then there we go. Actually, I could program them to space. I'm not using space for anything because I have adjustable throttle. So yeah, as suspected, tires are a little far front, but if I move them back, they have to go higher, which is not ideal either. Maybe if I just throw like just a little bit of weight in the front. Nope. All right, well, you know what? Let's just test it. Let's get on this runway and go for a flight. Here we go, lined up. Oh, our guns are grinding on the ground. That would explain the bob. Is there anything we can do about that? I mean, nothing that I'm seeing immediately. Alright, well, that is not good because that ruins the landing criteria. We'll toss those for a moment and we will come back to it. Let's take this for a test flight with just basic guns. Let's throttle up, full throttle. Landing gear in. I can do quite sharp turns if I use both my turning methods, especially considering the speed I'm going at. I'm sure if I lower my speed a little bit, oh, I totally lose any ability to fly without those front ones. What? Interesting. Oh, okay, that would explain it. When I press Q to lower the throttle, it puts all my flaps up, and that angles me down heavily. And now I'm floppy because my thrust is coming from the front. That makes so much more sense. There we go. We'll try taking this in for a landing anyways. Down to minimal throttle. Yeah, rough landing, guys, rough landing. Okay, so how can we fix that? We can undo everything we just did, but we just have to reprogram this once more. Okay, plane, you wanna stop doing whatever that is? Alright, line up on the runway. I never adjusted it. I never changed the control for these. Not that I'm ever gonna use them, but if I do, it's number 2. Full throttle. We're off the ground. Let's bring that landing gear in, and let's fight. I think that I'm going to be able to better control things if I just have consistent adjustments. And yeah, let's lower our throttle to second mode. This should give us lots of speed, lots of power, but also trick anyone so that we can get away if they need to. And now let's try taking this in for landing. Landing gears out. I can see the runway. Time to line up with the runway. I missed that. Oh, nope. Full throttle. Get us out of here. And that's the end of my life. Okay, so I'm gonna switch these back because I just don't like flying with that. I'm going to increase the angle to about 45 because I'm not trying to make air brakes. And so I forgot missiles. Literally forgot to add them, so no showcase yet. But we do need to find somewhere that we can slap missiles in. That could be difficult. Ideally, I'd like to throw the missile in the front because then that's least likely to blow me up. Maybe if I did something like this. No controls, speed full, start position 0, and that actually does seem to work. Set this to space, and we should be off and running. Let's go into the showcase. And look at that. It can land. No problem. First try. Easy peasy. Thank you guys so much for making it this far in the video. If you have, why not consider joining the Discord or subscribing and turning all the notifications on. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.